with some Ghost Riders in the Sky and then just messing around a little bit.
All right.
'Cause I haven't gotten to warm up yet.
All right. Well, you're warm. You're hot-blooded. Check it and see. You got a fever of 2,000 degrees.
Damn.
You're made of magma and you're hot as hell. Lava-blooded. I'm lava-blooded. Welcome to the podcast, folks. Two lonely boys in a canoe. I am Chris Evans. This here is Trevor Ahlstrom. They call us sometimes Gravel Shits and Gorgeous George.
Sometimes.
We're coming at you live on a Thursday. What? Thursday. We're coming at you on a Thursday, November the 3rd. It's been a heck of a week, man. Trevor, how's your week been?
Pretty hectic. Halloween on Monday.
How was your spooky Halloween?
It was good. Unlike this podcast, I was all warmed up and ready to go, so my guitar playing was good. I played a punk song, Lycocanthe, about turning werewolves by the great punk band Grievous Body Harm GBH, and then I played a fancy Chinese businessman song, old band used to be in, called Dennis in the Deep Sea Monster, and then I did the Beatles song Blackbird. It was good. Went well, and
he did the mash. He did the monster mash. The monster mash?
It was a graveyard smash.
He did the mash.
Everyone else just did love songs. I was the only one that did any spooky songs, so that was a little disappointing.
You know what would have been hilarious if you're like, this is my rendition of the Telltale Heart, and then you just read like the entire poem with a guitar background. That poem's very long, man. I remember reading it in school.
The Edgar Allan Poe one?
Yeah. Edgar Allan Poe was a really cool poet to me because all of his shit was dark when I was a kid. I was kind of into the darker poetry, I guess. But I remember sitting down at my sister's house. She had a giant book of Edgar Allan Poe's poetry. And, dude, I read The Raven and The Telltale Heart, and I didn't realize that in the school's version, it's a shorter version of it.
Yeah.
It's like 10 pages. The actual poems are like 28 pages. And, I mean, of the craziest dialogue you ever heard, man.
Like the cast of Armadillo was another one he did about this drunken guy that was down checking out this rich dude's basement, and the rich dude got him stuck there and actually walled him in down in the cellars.
Yeah, while you're there, you might as well wall you in.
He's like, well, now you can enjoy all the wine forever, and then he got walled in.
Always have wine.
Yes.
He's like, let me out of the cellar.
Yeah, I always liked Edgar Allan Poe.
He's a pretty funny dude.
Yeah, he was he had an interesting life too. Did a lot of crazy
Married his cousin.
Married his cousin. He was actually in Eureka the last town I was in, but he was there back in the 1850s.
Interesting.
He was in the army.
Yeah.
He was an officer that drank a lot and shook his fists at a lot of natives. What are you doing?
One of the coolest MREs I ever saw was from Scotland. They had a 1960s, it was an MRE from Scotland, but it came with a pack of cigarettes. It came with a dope little journal to write your thoughts down in. It came with food. It came with a thing of scotch. It came with alcohol. It came with a flint lighter.
Nice.
It came with a nice bayonet or a nice knife. Like, it was the coolest MRE I'd ever seen, and it had food in it too. That was the craziest part. Yeah, there's that dude on the internet. He eats old MREs.
I've heard of him.
I forget his name, but that dude is fucking ballsy, man. He eats MREs from like the 30s and 40s sometimes.
It's a good way to get sick.
But he doesn't it, man. He I guess he preps his body. Sometimes if something doesn't taste right, he just doesn't eat it. But most of the time, he's fine, dude. I don't think I've ever really seen him get too sick. He spit some stuff out. He's threw up a couple times, but just, for eating food that's meant to last 10 to 12 years, 40, 50 years later, that's pretty crazy.
You eating something from World War II, like, damn.
He's had a lot of MREs from, like, the Korean War and Vietnam and all sorts of stuff. Russia.
Crazy to have, like, a World War I meal. Little old at this point, but
if it's still good, you know what I mean? That'd be nuts.
Having 100-plus-year-old MRE. This is from the All Quiet on the Western Front.
This is from the Civil War.
Shit. Here, this is from the Trojan War.
Oh,
like,
God,
damn.
It's a condom.
It's a condom of some wine.
Weird.
Yep.
All right. Well, forgive us, folks, if we don't sound too up
both
and at 'em.
tired
We're
from
both
work.
exhausted from life. Life has been getting us down lately, and we're
Like
here.
gravity.
We're here to spew our feelings and thoughts on
Yep.
you.
Sorry if our the music and the conversation is a little slower than usual.
Hey, you guys!
So we did have Halloween that just happened, and we got through it. And
What'd you dress up as? Trevor?
just a guy that works at a metal shop.
I dressed up like a guy that worked on a dock.
Nice. There you go. But it's over now, and the weather has gotten very cool and rainy, which is what it's supposed to do at this time, and it's probably going to be a cold and wet winter. And for national news, we'll talk about the election bullshit next Sunday, but as far as national
Sunday.
and this daylight savings thing.
Coming to your poll place. It's the midterm elections.
And also, Chris has a birthday coming up very soon, too.
Yeah, I'm going to be 32.
Ooh. On the 8th.
Yeah.
Nice. So, as far as, do you have any non-election national news? 'Cause I'm going to save the stupid election thing for next time.
Apparently, Alex Carlatos likes to choke bitches. I don't agree with those policies, but he does. It seems to. News right now. We had that. What the hell? We had Nancy Pelosi's husband get hit with a hammer.
Yeah, we talked about that.
We had the crushing stampede in Korea.
We briefly mentioned that.
We talked about that a little bit. I don't know, man. My whole brain is wrapped around work still.
Yeah, I'm still trying to...
Man, work sucks when you can't come down from work. Like, your brain is just melted and your body is melted, but your fucking... Your spirit's still there, you know what I mean?
I feel like a burrito that's been heated and reheated too many times from the bottom of the fridge.
The tortilla is starting to fall apart now.
The cheese has got some weird, funky blue flecks to it, but you're hungry enough, so you're gonna eat it anyway.
I don't know. News. Funny word, news.
News, booze, cruise.
News.
Bernie Sanders the old Bernie Sanders on it. See, it's whole fucking election bullshit.
Yeah, then that's the problem with this time of year, man. And this is why I hate.
That's why I'm like, hey, do you have any non-election news?
This is why I hate my birthday some years, man. Because every 2 years during my birthday, there's this big political jump, and then like my birthday is November 8th, so usually elections are over by November like 10th or something.
But your birthday's ruined by the fucking elections.
It always is. But the best part, I think, as a birthday gift
not
that I
every
ever
year.
get, that's every other year.
Yeah.
But I think the best thing about a birthday gift that I ever get is after my birthday, they stop talking about politics for a moment.
That's nice.
Yeah, they the people that are voted in, and then there's a little bit of a squabble and shit. People are like, oh, this person shouldn't have won, or this person shouldn't have won. And then that's about it. Months go by and everybody kind of forgets about it. But yeah, I always hated that on my birthday. There's always these politics every couple of years, man. There's some news.
There you go.
There's some Chris news.
Chris news.
Chris's news.
I got Eugene Darkroomer group. The group I was Dylan's group is fucking on here finally. Nice. They're doing a Thursday today, I guess. Oh, already happened. Noon to 3. They did something. We were both at work.
A little late news.
Yeah, they did something at Maud Kearns Art Center, downtown Eugene, I guess.
I wish I knew more artsy stuff.
I usually find out about it from Dylan, my professional photographer friend.
Trevor's always touting how many friends he has. He's like, I got one here and I got one there.
Ooh, I got a good one here. We got this Thursday. We got Aikido beginner series, 6 to 7.
You want to learn some Aikido? You're gonna be like Steven Seagal.
Yeah, I was gonna sweep the leg or just like grab the wrist,
Yeah.
and then the guy just flips all of a sudden.
Yeah, no, that's Steven Seagal style.
Yeah.
Aikido.
he was definitely a big proponent of Aikido, and every time I just think of cheesy ass Steven Seagal now when I mention Aikido.
Isn't that fucked up? That one guy screwed up a whole
he ruined a whole martial art.
It's like nobody can learn Aikido seriously now without somebody being like, "Where's Steven Seagal at?"
Yeah. Well, like Wing Chun, like Bruce Lee, but people don't make fun of Bruce Lee like they do Steven. Yeah, the Gracies, they don't make. Yeah.
But that's the best.
Steven Seagal, people are like,
yeah, everything else like has like some coolness to it.
Yeah.
And then everybody's like Aikido, and they're like Steven Seagal.
Better get that ponytail out, bud.
He's like, watch this. What?
Oh, I know.
Elvis, bro. Him versus Elvis.
We named that episode already.
Yeah, that would be the ultimate match. Steven Seagal versus Elvis.
That would be pretty funny.
They'd both be doing weird karate on each other. Nobody be moving too fast to do anything.
That'd be awesome. Apparently this Friday there's a college volleyball game, Washington versus Oregon. So the Huskies versus the Ducks at 6 p.m. Mad Night Arena. Tickets are like usually $20. I went and saw them play once with my friend Jeff on mushrooms, and that was interesting.
The problem I have with volleyball is that not a lot of people care about volleyball.
I got a free ticket and I was on mushrooms. It's the only reason I went. So I was hanging out with a friend. So
that's the problem is the volleyball team doesn't always get support, so they need people to fill the stands. That's why the tickets are so cheap.
Yep.
But yeah, like this area, the Matt Knight Arena, we live pretty close to it. And when they let out from sporting events like football or basketball, it is fucking crazy driving or walking around there. It's like 3,000 or 4,000 people out at once.
Yeah.
You're like, and what the fuck?
You definitely hear it.
Yeah. No, there's a ton of people that go to the sporting events around here. And I've had to be driving home before as a sporting event got out. And these people don't give a shit, bro.
No.
They just sprint across the street and fucking running packs and stuff. There's like people falling down because some people are going, some people are stopping. Yeah, they built a bridge over the area so that the people could pass like safely, but it's a little further down of a walk. So most of the people just run across the street. Yeah, college kids suck sometimes.
Yep.
If you're in college, don't run across the street. Don't kill yourself because you're impatient.
Yeah. It's, getting hit by a vehicle sucks. If that had happened, it's not fun.
I've been hit by cars.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things that you don't think about until you're hit.
Oh, yeah.
And then you really think about it.
So, yeah, be careful, folks, on those streets. It gets wild. So, we also got Rise's Leaders 2022 Fall Cohort.
What is
10 a.m. to noon at the Mahoney Building.
Are you just making weird announcements that aren't real?
No, they're real.
Mahoney Building?
No, these are real words.
This sounds fake.
120 Shelton McMurphy Boulevard. Info at BeyondToxics.org. Oh, I appreciate you. You're complimenting my ability. You're overestimating my bullshit ability right now.
I guess, man. You're just making shit up.
No.
The Mahoney Building.
These are real words, Chris.
Trevor's just reading gobbledygook.
Gobbledygook. I'll do one more cheesy one real quick. Ooh, here's one Chris would like.
It better be a Gouda one.
Oh, man, I'm hungry for cheese now. Hey, I'm real peaceful like Buddha until you take my Gouda.
Oh, you can be a real monster.
Oh, man. I'm feeling real blue about this cheese.
Oh, man.
Hey, I like to get money. I like that cheddar. All right.
I fucking opened a can of worms.
You went up a lot of wheels of cheese, sir. Hey, this conversation definitely has some holes in it. All right. Moving on. So we also have...
this is what I got to deal with, guys.
He loves it. So he gets to see greatness in action.
It's like 1 out of 100 jokes really sticks.
No, better odds than that.
And maybe
better odds than that. You're being mean right now.
All right, maybe a little mean. So it's like 1 out of every 9 really hits.
No, more like 1 out of 4.
No, bullshit.
1 out of 4.
And then the rest of them are just fucking terrible, man. So it's hard to
You have
sit
some bad
there
ones too.
Not like that.
Yeah, you have some bad ones.
No.
So we also have a figure drawing painting class, art with Alejandro, 6
So
to 8
that was
p.m.
the last story.
This is the last one. 5th Street Market, Thursday, November 8th, on Chris's birthday. He can go do some figure drawing for his
Be
birthday.
at work, man. I don't see, and this is what people don't understand. Your birthday is just another day of the year, man.
My
I don't give a fuck. I worked on my birthday I don't think I've had off on my birthday in like 10 years.
That's probably been the same for me. I also worked this year on my birthday. It was like a Wednesday. No one gave.
Yeah, mine's on a Saturday.
Yeah.
I think.
It was hot and just ugh.
That's one of the best things is I'm getting paid right before my birthday too, so I have some bullshitting money.
There you go. You can go get all the jars of peanut butter now.
Oh man, it's just so funny because I don't drink anymore. I'm like, how are you gonna celebrate? I'm like, ice cream cake. Ice cream cake sounds good.
Nice.
You down? You down for some ice cream cakes?
I'm down.
Down like a clown, Charlie Brown. Down like a clown, Charlie Brown. Down like a clown, Charlie Brown.
South Park shout out.
Down like a clown, Charlie Brown.
Hey,
Jimmy, we're not gonna put up with this. Are you involved in a gang? He's like, Mom, I can't talk about this because it's super secret.
Why don't you guys get together and just work out your problems?
But if you're not down with my new friends, you can just pass the butt to the nigga on the left. I love that.
When they become gang members.
Crazy cripples.
Yeah, Crips.
He's like, that's what they must have meant, Timmy, is getting them some ginger ale and marshmallows at the store.
That's right.
Then they just cross the street, they're jaywalking, and that guy's like, oh God! And he drives into the fucking convenience store. He's like, Sunday driver. Jimmy's one of the most underrated characters on South Park.
I love Jimmy.
Him and Timmy just get into so much shit together.
Yeah, they do. I also love how Jimmy has like wet noodle legs, can't walk. But his drumming is ridiculous.
Yeah.
He can do like crazy double bass, like death metal, like what are you playing for Behemoth? Just like ridiculous shit.
I love I love the episode where they're at Camp Tardy Caca.
Yeah,
the retarded camp.
Yeah, you showed it.
And Jimmy's going to surf on the lake, and he goes, oh no, because it looks like he got washed out. And it's like, oh wait, no, he's doing it. And then there's just like a crazy thing of him surfing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no man. South Park. Yeah.
Some surf music.
Yeah.
Pops in.
South Park's so funny.
And then the other guy he got raped by the lake shark with the 9-inch penis.
Yep. Nathan got raped by that shark. The Lake Titicaca Great White has a penis length of 9 inches.
Shout out lake sharks, 9-inch cocks. So, moving on, I guess.
Moving on up
Got
to the east side.
any cool world news?
To a deluxe apartment in the sky. Moving on up.
Do we have any world news?
Yeah, so again with the Ukraine and Russia war, Ukraine's beating back Russia again.
Hell yeah.
One of the largest cities that they control right now. Russia's pretty much on the outskirts of the city. They don't really control it as much anymore. But this just goes to show, man, that like all Ukraine really had to do was hold their ground for a while until they got reinforced. And now they're just they're fucking up Russia with a lot of like. So their strategy is pretty funny. It's literally shooting from a targeted area, hitting their target, and then moving miles down the road. So it's a hit and move strategy, and it's been working for them. Russia doesn't really have any other options right now. They're pretty much out of people. They're out of tanks. They're out of a lot of things that they need to keep their war going, fuel, food. But I think that Vladimir Putin's not willing to admit that he's made a mistake. So he's gonna either double down and he's gonna start just basically sending everybody in Russia to fucking fight.
I go to Shopko, get all supplies I need for war.
But yeah, Vladimir Putin's in a really bad position right now because in the next few months, the winter's coming.
Oh yeah.
And winter's always been the fucking hardest time in war. No matter what it is, it's just Mother Nature.
And Russia's been involved in a few of those. Napoleon, World War I, World War II.
So let's say this war even lasts to the spring, which it probably will. You know, they're not going to have anything left by then. I'm really curious to see what Russia does here in the next few months because they're going to definitely take some more major losses. Nobody even on their side really wants to fight anymore. They're just going out there and getting hit, and they're just like, we can't hit them now. You know, they're running, and I feel bad for the people, man, because a lot of them are just getting forced into military service for this dude's fucking dick showing competition.
Yeah, no, it is sad.
Yeah, a lot of these Russian guys are just fucking, they're caught in the middle, just like the Ukrainians, man.
I feel bad for the everyday people that it's beyond their control. They're just stuck on both Ukrainian and Russian side. They're just stuck. They're just in the right place, but at the wrong time, like the Dr. John song.
For real.
Yeah. All right, we can move on. Do the subject that the boss at my job, John. Shout out to John.
Hey, John.
Older gentleman. He wanted us to talk about the number of stars in the universe compared to sand.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of sand out there on the Earth.
A lot of sand. So it's apparently.
Are we just talking sand on this planet? Because there's a lot of sand on a lot of planets.
Mars has sand.
Yeah, there's fucking a lot of planets out there with sand.
So apparently there's this word called sextillion. Real word. Chris thinks I'm making it up, but it's
Trevor's just he's a wordsmith. He's sitting there making up words.
It's a billion trillion, bud.
Making a bunch of assumptions.
Yes. Yeah, it's a number of like 24 zeros, more a bigger number than any of us is ever going to have to deal with.
Okay.
So,
all right.
But yeah, there's apparently I've heard different numbers, but there's definitely over a sextillion stars in the universe, and there's also about a sextillion grains of sand. So it's fairly close. There's a little bit more stars, but there's ridiculous amounts of both. And how you can calculate for the Earth is pretty crazy because I don't know how exactly. And then also the universe we are still exploring it. There's still a lot of parts we don't know. So it's just some guy doing some Goodwill hunting shit, just writing and wearing out endless pieces of chalk on a chalkboard.
He's like, hey, what are you doing there?
Exactly.
He's like, fuck you. He just
And
runs off.
Matt Damon's the surly janitor that solves it real quick and runs off. Wait a second.
Is that correct? Is that guy from Boston?
Yep, those guys cruising for a bruising.
That guy was in The Departed.
Hey, you punched me back in kindergarten. I'm getting revenge. That was 20 years ago. Doesn't matter.
Any more world news? Can you think of anything that's been going on?
I mean.
Oh, that Parkland shooter in Florida. That's a country news. That's a national.
Did he just get
He got convicted for life.
Good.
Yeah, he got life. He's going to spend the rest of his life behind bars if he doesn't kill himself or somebody doesn't kill him first.
Which they're all good possibilities.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of ways to get to somebody on the inside. It just depends on how much money you got and who you're talking to.
That's why old Uncle Charlie Manson didn't get murdered in prison, because he made a lot of smart deals with like the Aryan Brotherhood.
Well, he didn't make smart deals. He just rubbed elbows with the Aryans. Jeffrey Dahmer ended up pissing off his roommate.
Who murdered him
and fucked him up.
Yeah, he killed him with a weight bar, and then after he was unconscious, and then he took a broom and shoved it up Jeffrey Dahmer's ass and broke it up his ass. Sodomized with a broom. Pretty crazy.
I was watching a documentary the other day on Jeffrey Dahmer too, and he was talking about how when he went into prison, he had become a Christian. He become a born again Christian, and he got baptized or whatever. But then he would fuck around and he would be eating food in the cafeteria, and he would be like talking about how like this tasted like people, or and he would constantly leave like bones out with a bunch of ketchup to like imitate blood on bones and shit. It was a weird thing, and I guess he just pissed enough people off that they were like, "Yo, somebody kill this fucking guy."
Yeah.
Yeah, because
I'm sure the guards conveniently looked away when it happened too, because I'm sure the guards were tired of this guy too.
I think it was just, you can't make a lot of enemies in this world and not expect somebody to lash out and fucking try to touch you. That's what people do when you piss them off, man. Is they're only gonna fucking be mad at you for so long before they hit you,
or just kill you. Yeah.
No, sometimes it doesn't stop there.
Ooh, but yeah, they're making a movie series about the Dahmer thing right now. It looks pretty good. The guy playing it's doing like the method acting thing where Daniel Day-Lewis, where he practiced for months ahead of time to like get this guy's speech pattern and the way he dressed.
Man,
did everything.
Fucking Daniel Day-Lewis, man, he is such a good actor.
Oh,
he's
my,
crazy as fuck.
He is crazy. It reminds me of like Christian Bale too, another good actor that would do that also.
Actor,
yeah, do that Die Hard.
That was something. I was in school for a little while and I took an acting class. That was something that we did talk about, method acting. But
it's really intense.
Method acting is very intense, but there's a lot of people that do it that kind of lose themselves a little bit,
Yeah, because they immerse themselves in this other character.
Yeah. And when you lose yourself a little bit mentally, it takes time to get back to who you really were.
Yeah. You're gonna lose yourself. Opportune lifetime. You're an 8 Mile over here.
Here's something crazy. I saw an episode of Law and Order the other day, and it was these people that were picking up young kids that were trying to make it home from the bar or whatever, or like, this one girl was trying to find her friend. So they pick them up and they put a bunch of acid in the water, and like they give them some water, and then they take them back to this house, and basically what they ended up finding when they did a tox screen on this one girl, is they gave them like 100 hits of DMT.
Jesus.
And they had a bunch of kids in there that were kind of controlling the situation. But the people are just tripping out as hard as hell. And they made these people dig their own graves. Yeah, like they're just sitting there tripping balls and falling all over themselves, and they're forcing them to dig their own grave. And it happened a few times where the women would escape, they'd get out of there. But one went to a psych ward. She never came back from all the drugs. The other one, they did get her back. But, man, you imagine just being, like, so far gone on psychedelics that you never come back.
Yeah. That's rough.
Like, just one trip too many, and then you can't come back. That's a scary thought.
Well, speaking of not coming back and scary thoughts, want to do your movie review?
Yeah. I watched a documentary recently on Waco, Texas, and the whole, what were they? They were like Christian extremists or something like that.
Yeah.
They were a fucking cult.
They had a compound.
So it was a nutty documentary. It started out with the families, or the people that had died, children being interviewed. So some of the kids that were born there when the whole thing happened were released during the hostage negotiations. So they were interviewing a lot of the children of the parents that died. And what they ended up talking about was how the main dude, I forget his name, but it's like David or some shit. He was ordering all this stuff off of the internet basically at the time, but it wasn't the internet, it was like call service or some shit. But he was getting UPS delivered packages every couple days, and inside these packages, the UPS man started to notice they were getting heavier and heavier. They were getting fucking guns and ammunition and fucking bulletproof vests, and they were getting grenades and all sorts of stuff. So
ready for their own guerrilla war.
The guy was trying to get munitions up so that they could fucking have a holy war or something with people. I think they were starting to try to build like combat soldiers, they started having the people in the religious group do like combat training, you know, using the guns and firing and stuff. What ended up happening was the ATF got wind of it, and they came up with the idea that they were going to raid the compound. So they rode in with a bunch of like tarps over trailers and a bunch of men and stuff. What they didn't know was one of the reporters had told the religious group about the raid.
Fuck.
Because it was just publicized that much. So the reporter let him know, and when the ATF showed up to take over the compound, they were all staged and ready to shoot at him. So they ended up shooting a ton of cops. I think like 11 officers died that day.
Damn.
A bunch more got injured, and at a point they had to have a ceasefire from the religious group because they were just killing all the cops. They ended up having a ceasefire. They pulled back. They came back the next day with more armory and fucking tanks and stuff. But the people had got inside and barricaded themselves in, and they had children, they had women, they had, hostages. So what ended up happening was they held their compound for like days at a time, and they were trying to get them out by playing loud music in the middle of the night and flashing lights into the compound. They cut off the electricity, they were messing with them as much as they could. So a few days go by, they release some of the hostages, they release some of the children, but some of them stay behind too. And just as the ATF is ready to go in, they start trying to go in again, and there's some more firefight, and they're shooting at each other. And while this is all going on, they start lighting the place on fire, the whole compound. So they take diesel or some sort of...
The cops lighted?
No.
Oh, the people in the
religious group.
Okay.
And they start lighting the place on fire. A couple people escaped through the windows, but most of them burned inside the building, the main house. I think it was like 25 people or something died. Children, women, the main dude. So instead of them getting captured and having to go through the legal process, they were just like, we'll burn ourselves alive.
Damn.
And it was pretty nuts, man. They had just never encountered anything like that before. Religious groups have always been kind of, iffy in our society. But
Well, we had the whole issue of the Mormon Church.
Well, when you start as a religion, regardless of what it is, when you start getting guns together, that's a real slippery slope.
Yeah.
Because all you need is one guy to be like, it's our time to revolutionize.
This is our time. Our time now.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's pretty scary. But yeah, the Waco, Texas incident, it was really bad. It was a great documentary. I really did like it. They talked about all the people that were left behind after it and stuff.
All the people survived.
Yeah, well, the children that survived, they're adults now. It's been years and years. This happened 90s. Back in like '93 or something. But out of 10, I'd give it like a good 7. It was a decent documentary.
Give it a 7 gasoline cans.
Something. I don't know.
7 Bibles wrapped with bullets for shooting at people. Pop, 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 pop.
Something, Trevor. God.
All right. I'm doing my album review now.
All right.
So this is something Chris sent me, and it's a mashup of Wu-Tang Clan and Led Zeppelin. Those are the artists, and the album is just called Wu-Tang Clan and Led Zeppelin, the Wu-Tang Zeppelin mashup album.
Nice.
And it's like 43 minutes long. The song I picked was Release the Immigrant, which is like the immigrant song from Zeppelin, and then Release the Wu-Tang or something from Wu-Tang Clan. Release the Wang. Sounds like a name for a porno. Release the Wang. But it was good. You had Method Man in there rapping along to da 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 da, and then you had something like RZA in there too. It was good. So out of Zeppelins and Shaolin swords, I'd give it I'd give it a good 7. 10. 8. I'd give it 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. Sorry, folks. I'm doing rough tonight, folks. Next one. We got Rogue Train Attacks.
Oh yeah, let's talk
TV
about
program. So we have this idea recently where you have
trains attack.
a TV show when rogue trains attack, and we would have Sam Elliott as the guest.
Yeah.
And we think it would be funny, like, he never saw it coming in the grocery store. Just like you're buying some groceries and train just runs right through the grocery store. Ah! Just
When did bread get so expensive?
these food prices are off the rails right now. Yeah. Man, these food prices never even see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Oh God, Trevor's bad jokes.
We could also do it like you're in a library, or the funny one would be too, like if you're in an adult store and a train just rolls right through. Man, they're gonna run a train on this chick. Just right through.
Or just to be in like regular places, like at work or something, and you're just a mile from the train tracks, but all of a sudden a train just finds its way to you. You know what they say? Train beats bus every time.
Yep. But it doesn't beat plane though. Train versus plane. That's the ultimate. Unless you had a flying train, then we're all fucked. Flying train.
Flying train, man. That's got to be a thing.
That'd
Who
be pretty
would
great.
win?
I don't know.
A train versus a plane? Like, a plane would have to be coming in real low.
What if you had the train?
I think the train would fuck up the plane.
What if the train got shot from like a rail gun? Like you take the caboose,
See, now you're just
put it on the
getting too
rail
crazy.
gun, and just shoot
I'm
it.
saying a jetliner is losing power, and it's coming down, and it has no control. But it's coming
big
down.
jetliner.
It's coming down on a train track, and as it's coming down, the same time the train's coming towards the plane. I think that plane is done. I think the train's gonna obliterate it. But is the plane going fast enough to fuck the train
Also,
up?
how big is the plane too?
I'm talking jetliner, man. I'm talking,
Yeah.
cross country flight.
Not a little biplane, but a
No,
full
a fucking
commercial.
jet.
Yeah.
747. Who wins, train versus plane?
I think it would be bad for both parties involved.
I think nobody's walking away from
Nobody's
that
walking away.
unscathed. But
Can you imagine being the random?
carnage?
Can you imagine being the random homeless guy hanging out like
He's
a
on
quarter mile away,
He's
just
sitting there
observing.
with a scotch in his hand,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Oh shit!" and he just and he watches it all, and he's
He
like,
pours it,
"Whoa."
yeah.
He sets his drink down.
Yeah.
He's like, "I guess that's enough of that."
That would be pretty wild.
Oh man.
It was definitely a highlight so far. We could talk about
Trains versus planes.
transfers. We could talk about Chris wants Reese's peanut butter cups to step up their peanut butter game.
Yes, I am very passionate about this, okay? Folks, I think we all know that Reese's peanut butter cups are a pretty amazing candy. In general, they're not bad at all. Here's my big gripe with them.
Grinds your gears.
Yeah, this is what really grinds my gears. So the peanut butter that they put inside the Reese's, it's like chalky fucking peanut butter
It's the
smash.
cheapest peanut butter you can make.
It's very cheap peanut butter, or it's their special fucking recipe. I don't give a fuck. I'm telling you right now, I want my
Get it, Chris.
I want my fucking Reese's chocolate with some Jif peanut butter, man. I want a creamy fucking peanut
Problem
butter.
is
cup.
they raise the price of that so
I don't
much.
give a shit what they gotta do. They gotta call in Superman. I don't care what they gotta do.
They better step up their
They
peanut
better
butter game.
get their peanut butter figured out.
I
Or
just-
else Reese's, you're going down.
I wanted to see Chris for the podcast, like read aloud an angry letter he would send to Reese's Pieces. Like if you wrote a letter, I'd have you read it on the podcast. Just
Hello,
send it-
hello, Reese's and
Dear
Mars Company.
CEO of Mars and Reese's.
Let me let you know how you can get your shit.
You're gonna lay it
right.
down like Macho Man Randy Savage? I'm gonna lay it down for you, brother. You better step up your peanut butter game. You better rise to the cream like the creamy peanut butter. Or else you're gonna get the people's elbow. Ah!
I don't think you realize how seriously I take my peanut butter cups. I mean, you could die from not having these peanut butter cups proper.
Die from poor quality peanut butter.
I'm telling you, man. I've seen it happen. I don't want to watch it happen to you.
Are you a creamy or a crunchy peanut butter guy?
So here's my whole thing with crunchy peanut butter. I love peanuts with creamy peanut butter, but it's got to be a good ratio. You know what I mean? You ever come across crunchy peanut butter that's way too many nuts, and then you can't spread it. You're breaking bread as you're trying to.
I
spread
also
it.
like a good ratio between crunch and cream.
Because there shouldn't be too much of either. If it's a crunchy peanut butter, it should be somewhere in the middle, not all peanuts. But yeah,
You're just gonna get all the nuts now.
If I had a choice, it'd definitely be creamy, man. Creamy.
I would pick crunchy, but I don't. But like you said, that is an issue where if it's too crunchy, it just ruins bread. I've had that. It's just like
Because you might as well be eating peanuts at that point. You know, you might as well just have a bowl of peanuts.
yeah. So I like crunchy, but yeah, not too creamy, not too crunchy.
I think we agree on that. You know?
Yeah. So I got another peanut butter topic here. It's like the peanut butter episode so far. So Chris sometimes will say like, "Come on, man, talk shit to me." Da da da. So when he didn't expect it Tuesday, he was eating some peanut butter. He was getting down on some peanut butter, and I jokingly turned and like, "Man, you gonna save any of that peanut butter?" And he just immediately went, "Rah!" It's pretty funny. It's kind of like with Joe Pesci in Goodfellas, like, Get your fucking shine box. And then he was like Joe Pesci and he just lost it. Was like, dude, I was just talking
So it
shit.
was hilarious.
I got a whole nother jar.
So I went to the grocery store the other day, right?
You did.
And when I went to the grocery store, on sale they had the giant jar of creamy peanut butter for like $3. And I was like, perfect. We
It's a
both
good deal.
love peanut butter. We eat a ton of it. That'd be great. So I knew we were running low at the house, and when I was eating the last little bit of it, he just turns around and was like, "So you're gonna save any peanut butter for me?" And I was like, "Motherfucker, we got a whole."
I know. I knew
But
that.
it was hilarious just because I was totally caught off guard, and I was just focused on what I was doing. And I look back at it and I'm like, yeah, I could have handled that a little better. But you know what? Fuck you. I bought so much peanut butter. I'm like Donald Trump over here. I got so much peanut butter.
Sit down, you're
More
gay.
peanut butter than anybody.
Yeah, the best type of peanut butter.
The peanut butter is
The best
phenomenal.
ratio. This peanut butter will inspire the American way for everybody.
I'm gonna drain the swamp and put peanut butter in the
all
swamp.
over it. Just peanut butter swamp.
Yo, Donald Trump, man, if I ever see you, I'm punching you in the dick, bro.
I'm definitely kicking him down a staircase if I ever see him in a staircase. But yeah, give me peanut butter or give me death. There you go.
Oh, man.
We could also talk about the gay black man that renounced being gay at church.
Oh, yeah.
The thing you just
friends no more.
want to give a little background, like it was bonfire.
So it's the bonfire. They were doing a funny video about
The
They
podcast.
have a bunch of
Bonfire, the comedy
compilation
podcast,
videos
yeah.
of like some of their funnier topics. But they have this one gay black guy that's at church, and they bring him up to the front, and the pastor's like, "Tell him what you want to tell him," and he grabs the mic. And he's like, "I'm not gay no more." He's like, "I will not hold a purse. I won't wear makeup." And he's like,
Women.
"I love women."
And he does this funny, like, shaking hands, puts his arms down to his side,
He starts
and he starts
jiggling.
wiggling around.
And I've been to some Black Baptist church.
I have too,
you
and
do
they get
see
fun.
some funny dancing and some funny running around sometimes. But this dude was wearing what is it? An ascot. He's like the dude from fuck, Scooby Doo. He's like Fred.
Fred.
Yeah, he's wearing like an ascot. He has fucking.
It's like this cream-colored ascot.
Yeah,
This brilliant
this
coat.
dude is not straight at all. But you should just hear him go on about how he loves women.
And then all these people in the church started dancing around him, got excited. And then we'll talk about the afterwards, the interview later.
So he does have an interview like a couple days later, and they talk to him, and they ask him, "So you're straight now?" And he goes, "No, I'm still gay. I just got caught up in the moment." So just goes to show, folks. I don't know. Just be who you are in this world.
He was being definitely touched by the Holy Spirit.
He was being touched by an angel.
So yeah. Oh, speaking of angels, you were telling me how the seventh heaven, the actor who played the dad, apparently was a
pedophile.
Pedophile. Yeah.
So the dad who played the pastor on Seventh Heaven, he was a pastor. He was always running into problems with his hot daughters.
That's right. He did have hot daughters. I've seen the
daughters, and he was always running
causing
into
trouble
problems with them. But later on, after the show, I guess, was over, on his fucking computer, somebody found a bunch of child porn.
Oh shit!
And he had to kind of come forward and talk about it. He did a whole like interview on 2020 or something like that. He did an interview. And he basically talked about how he, prayed to God and all this shit. And I'm like, bro, you're just a sick fuck, man. There's a lot of people out there that are sick fucks. Just own up to it,
You're
man.
a sick fuck.
You're a sick fuck. I'm sorry. You like children. That's a weird thing to like. Kids are annoying as hell.
Yes, they are. That's why I like these 18-year-old chicks, even though there are some hot ones, I just have to listen to them talk for about 10 seconds and go... So
18-year-old girls are not fucking appealing.
Yeah, like
they're
even
more
if,
annoying than anything.
even if they're good looking at, they're usually so annoying because they're so literally mentally kids. So
if you are not old enough to go out to a bar, we're not talking. Because
straight up.
Saying that, you would at least have to be 21. I'm about to be 32. Be an 11-year age difference, yeah.
That's an issue. I'm also 32, and it's definitely the woman. Like, yeah, I see some good eye candy, but I definitely have better.
I see myself dating an 18-year-old. Fuck that.
Like Chris, I definitely like the women who have a little more baggage, a little older.
Whatever happened to good old banana tits, man? Banana tits with like a big nipple and a pointy nipple, and like the under boob is like nicely pointed out. Banana tits used to rock during the 70s, and then they started to go away.
Nice.
This was a Big J subject that he brought up. And
We've talked about actually types of titties through the decades.
Yeah, dude, like giant areolas and puffy nipples. Like I love that.
Puffy nips.
Yeah, you don't see that as much anymore.
I actually mentioned that my boss today. He's like, so what about that cute Portuguese girl? I was like, well, first off, I don't think she has enough up here going on. I think she could use bigger boobs. And he put his torch down. He just like leaned over, looked at me. He's like, well, that's something you shouldn't tell her. I'm like, well, I'm not going to tell her, but I thought it would make you smile. And he had this giant shitty grin on his face. I was like, I do have a bit of a tongue. But yeah, I also agree. I also now, with women, like, I've been with chicks with big boobs, small boobs, in between boobs, and yeah, I want something to grab. So yeah, ladies of boobs, hit us up.
Yeah, like on a scale of 1 to 10, man, a nice B to C cup, man. That's about perfect.
If you got D, that's good.
D's are good, but my dad told me this a long time ago, and he's kind of right. He's like, anything more than a handful, then you're overstepping. You need 2 handfuls, 1 in each. More than that, you're just playing. You're playing.
It's the old man rule of thumb for tit size.
Enough for 1 good handful.
There you go. Ooh, another one. Slowpoke Rodriguez. Something you want to talk about.
Yeah, I love Slowpoke Rodriguez.
Background?
He was the stoner Mexican stereotype to Speedy Gonzalez.
Because Speedy was
Speedy
get
Gonzalez
shit done all the time.
Was the fastest mouse in all Mexico. And his cousin, Slowpoke Rodriguez, was real slow.
Real sleepy.
Yeah, real sleepy Mexican style. But he was awesome because he packed a gun, and he was always like quick-witted. Like he wasn't quick-witted, but I don't know.
He was clever. He was
very clever, exactly.
Like he learned how to do how to hypnotize all the cats.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Get them to do whatever they wanted.
Yeah, this motherfucker had skills, bro. And for Speedy Gonzalez to be the fastest mouse in all Mexico, that's great and all.
But his cousin's
his cousin rolls around, smokes joints, blows fucking cats away with his fucking pistols. Man.
He's like a Cypress Hill song, 100%.
He's the coolest guy, man. Slowpoke Rodriguez, shout out, man.
Shout out to the more obscure cartoon characters.
And the fact is, they don't play those kind of cartoons anymore because it's thought to be a bad stereotype of Mexicans. But I mean, you ask most Mexican people, they love Slowpoke Rodriguez and fucking Speedy Gonzalez. That's all I got to say about that.
If you have a good sense of humor, hell yeah.
Just like most Indian people love Apu, you know? But that was the whole thing, too.
That was the whole thing.
He's a stereotype. Motherfucker, you know how many Indians run fucking convenience stores?
A lot.
A ton of them.
This town included. Just like there's white people that have no problem with the Elmer Fudd stereotype of like the goofy, stuttering great white hunter running around.
What?
Yep. Duck season, rabbit season, duck season, rabbit season. Yeah. So we also got. Ooh. Hey, here's a topic too. What happens in Rhode Island stays in Rhode Island. Well, Kill Tony.
We were talking about Rhode Island as a state and how it's just very obscure and not a lot of people know about it, like Vermont and Rhode Island and stuff. Just these weird eastern, northern states.
Yeah, small.
Yeah, but
not as much people.
But yeah, it was just an interesting concept to be like, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. What happens in Rhode Island stays in Rhode Island.
What happened to Rhode Island?
I don't know, but it was a lot of clam chowder, I think.
A lot of clam chowder and women doing rooster calls, apparently. But yeah, these chicks that were from Rhode Island on the comedy show Kill Tony that Chris showed me. These women are from Rhode Island, and he's like, do something cool about Rhode Island. Do a cool Rhode Island thing. So he's like, well, a big thing we do is the
chicken call.
The chicken call, and she went. And she got into it 100%.
Yeah. And it was funny because her hot daughter's behind her and she's just like, yeah, my mom's doing it.
Yeah, she was doing the whole chicken dance, getting down.
Yeah, but that's a big thing in a lot of farming communities. Like people pig call and people duck call and stuff.
So yeah, shout out to Rhode Island. We'll probably never get there, but if we ever do, I do want to try out your clam chowder.
Rhode Island. What do you got? What do you got for us, Rhode Island?
Yeah, I mean...
Send us some T-shirts.
Yes. Vermont should still send us something. I mean, Vermont at least is Bernie Sanders, so...
Vermont's got nothing but gay sweaters for us.
Whatever. Jealous of my sweaters.
Trevor loves his Vermont sweater.
It's very comfortable, sir.
It's not even from Vermont.
No, but it's... I got it for free, and it's very comfortable.
That's Trevor's whole wardrobe. I got it for free.
I got it from the... Yeah, if I got someone gave it to me, like, you want this? Like, all right, whatever. Okay. It was warm. It was warm. It's comfortable.
They're like, did you just give him that cat piss jacket? And he was like, yeah, he wanted it.
I washed it. We're good. I think Chris is secretly jealous and would love to have a jacket of this style.
I feel like he's very comfortable in the jacket, and that's all well and good. But I know as a human being, that jacket looks gay as hell.
Well, I only wear it in the house, so it's okay.
It's very effeminate of you.
I'm just wearing it in the house, all right? You know what? I like women.
It's awesome. Yeah, man. Today's been a good day.
Today's been a good day. Didn't have to use your AK.
Hey,
Ice Cube. I do like that song.
Fucked around and got a triple-double.
Nice. Yeah, we've pretty much covered all the topics.
All right, man.
We ran pretty ham. The first guitar song's a little rough because I hadn't warmed up, so I need to do better.
Do it, man.
So, yeah, we're going to upload 51 and 52 and probably 53 here next couple of days. Check us out.
Hell yeah.
And we'll just keep trying to get better and do cooler things. People, just be nice out there. It's definitely a frog-eat-dog world out there. So there you go.
Plane versus train kind of world.
Planes and trains and
automobiles.
It's fucking crazy. And hurts.
fade, or